The literary analysis essay is set up similarly to other essays, in that we still create MLA format in the literary analysis. Your essay should have your header with your last name and page number in Times New Roman 12-point font. Your heading should also be set up with your name, teacher's name, course, and date in this form. You should have an original title for your essay. Just like all other formal essays, the literary analysis should begin with an introduction paragraph. The introduction paragraph will draw your reader into what you will be writing about. For the literary analysis essay, the focus will be on some aspect of literature, some aspect of the text that you have read and have chosen to analyze. For this essay, the writer has chosen to analyze Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. The essay will be analyzing the use of dynamic characters in the essay, specifically focusing on proving or identifying Montag as a dynamic character. Therefore, the introduction draws the reader in by starting to simply discuss dynamic characters in general and what a dynamic character might add to the text. Then, the introduction paragraph ends with a thesis statement. In the literary analysis essay, the thesis statement must include the title of the text, the author, and the idea you will write about. Notice that this thesis clearly explains what this essay will be about. In Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, Montag represents a dynamic character due to his inherent changes that create more depth in his personality. Again, note that the thesis statement is the last sentence in the introduction. Moving along, the topic sentence for the first body paragraph must relate directly to the thesis. The topic sentence is, Montag's views on relationships have changed, and he becomes a person of depth due to his new insights. Notice how there's a direct connection to the thesis statement. You want each topic sentence for your body paragraphs to directly connect to that thesis statement to create cohesiveness in the essay. The writer then develops this idea. He realizes that his relationship with his wife Mildred is shallow, and he wants to try to really know her as a person. Again, we have a connection to the topic sentence and to the thesis statement. Remember that after you make a claim, you must support that claim with evidence. The evidence here has been integrated effectively, and it clearly supports the idea that Montag realizes his relationship with his wife is shallow. The evidence says suddenly she was so strange he couldn't believe he knew her at all. He was in someone else's house, like those other jokes people told of the gentleman drunk coming home late at night, unlocking the wrong door, entering a wrong room, and betting with a stranger, and getting up early and going to work, and neither of them the wiser. This shows that Montag feels he is married to a complete stranger, and he wants more. This reveals his realization about his relationship with his wife. It shows that his views have changed, and it reveals he is a dynamic character due to this change. Notice that we have our in-text citation, quotation marks, open parentheses, author's last name, page number, close parentheses, and period. All in-text citations must be set up just like this, unless your works cited entry is different. After you use evidence to support your claims, you must analyze the evidence and make the connection. Do not simply restate the quote. The analysis here says Montague is no longer content with the surface-level relationship he and his wife have, and he shows growth and change as a person for wanting a better relationship with Mildred. Notice that the writer is not explaining the evidence or restating the evidence. The writer is connecting the evidence to the development, to the topic sentence, which all connects back to the thesis. The analysis is the most important part. Make sure that you do not simply restate or explain the evidence. You want to make the connections. Then we transition, because we need to prove once more that Montague's views on relationships have changed in order to show a fully developed paragraph. Again, the writer goes through the process of including the transition, then supporting with evidence, and analyzing how the evidence supports claims. The body paragraph ends with a conclusion sentence, wrapping up the ideas about this specific topic. You will then move on to your second body paragraph. Notice that the writer has included a transition or an idea from the paragraph above. Then, the writer gently introduces the reader to the new topic, that Montague begins to understand that people need knowledge to grow. This again shows Montague's change and reveals his status as a dynamic character. Continuing through the paragraph, we have development, we have evidence, and we have analysis connecting. We do that at least twice for each body paragraph, again ending with a conclusion sentence. The conclusion paragraph wraps up the author's ideas. We see that the writer does not simply restate the introduction, but notice how the writer creates a call to action and adds a little extra for the reader, but also includes the ideas of the essay. Finally, make sure that you include a works cited page. This will be a new page at the very end of your document. This will include the title, author, and will be set up similarly to this essay. You will simply have works cited in Times New Roman 12, and you will begin your citation here. Remember that there is a certain formula for each works cited entry that you will have. You will continue the entry by including the publication information. Make sure to include the works cited on all literary analysis essays that you create.